Hey, chain breakers, Lee and Kiari here. Are you ready for some summer lovin' and how to learn how to nurture your relationships? Yes, we're going there a little bit today. So, thank you so much for joining. We are in the middle of our June summertime series, okay? It is all about, hold on, let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. Summertime sanity hacks for your health. And yes, nurturing your relationships is a health hack because when we have disruption in our relationships, then that actually disrupts our health. Yeah, it does. So, thank you so much for joining in. My name's Leanne Chiari, and I inspire the busy working mama like yourself to reignite your purpose with a fierce mindset, unwavering motivation, and total body movement. And I'm so glad that you're here. And again, we're in this series, Summertime Sanity Hacks, for your health. And this is actually week 4. We only have one more week. So pretty awesome. Week 4, we're talking about summer lovin'. Summer lovin' had me a blast. I know I don't sing well, but I like to sing. It's a dangerous combo. So there you go. And now I don't really talk a whole lot about relationships in this group, but this group is all about your health. Okay. And this is a aspect of our health. Okay. And I will tell you, while I have some great relationships, I have some that are not so great. I know it might be surprising to you, but it is true. And when those relationships are not in sync and not on track, it affects you with your mental health and your physical health because those are related. We've talked about that many times before. The mental health and physical health are related. And so when you don't have those great healthy relationships and can count on those around you, it affects you. It affects you. Okay. So I'm going to give you 3 ways to nurture your relationships. Okay. 3 ways to nurture your relationships. All right. So I would love for you to put into the comments as you're jumping on, whether it's the live or the replay, let me know where you're tuning in from. And you don't have to say what relationship, but tell me, do you have a relationship that could use nurturing? Say nurture in the comments if you have a relationship that could benefit from some nurturing. Now, really, all of your relationships can benefit from nurturing, but if you can think of one in particular, I'd love for you to say nurture in the comments. And I want you to think about that person, that relationship, as we go through these 3 tips on how to nurture, okay? Because I really want this attach some emotion, attach some feelings to this and to that person, to that relationship that you are indicating in the chat. And so we can get something out of this so you can feel that, okay? And then my challenge to you is to actually use these 3 tips to help nurture that relationship, okay? Now, again, I am no, doctor, relationship doctor, or what's his name? Will Smith, he played that movie. The Love Doctor. I don't know. I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, that's not me. However, we all gain experience through the relationships that we go through. Am I right? So let me give you a couple of tips that may help you. Okay. And if you have tips you want to share, feel free to drop them in the chat. We're all about helping each other, learning. I'm just going to give you 3. There's many others that can help you. Okay. So first things first, relationships are dynamic. They're changing. We grow as people. The people that we're in relationships with, they grow and change as we get older and wiser, maybe not wiser sometimes, but they're dynamic. And so we have to learn how to deal with that, right? So that means we can't nurture the relationship as we did maybe 10 years ago. We might have to nurture it a different way now, right? Okay. So if you want if you want your relationship to survive the test of time, you must learn how to nurture them, and you have to actually put the time and energy into them. It takes work. It takes work. I mean, relationships, yeah, you kind of think, oh, well, if it's easy, it's meant to be. Well, yeah, I mean, you want it to be easy, but it's not always easy because life throws us curves, right? And knocks us off kilter. And then we start responding differently. Others may start responding differently due to what is maybe happening in our lives, maybe due to what is happening in their lives. And so we must pivot, right? So we've got our relationships are dynamic, okay? And we must put time and energy into them. Just like this is one of my favorite movies. I love it. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Who loves that movie? Put a raised hand. Me. Who loves that movie? Okay. It's so funny. And I love, Kate and Matthew McConaughey. But remember when she came in and they were doing the poker game? She's acting crazy because she's trying to lose the guy. And she sees the love fern. She's like, the love fern, you let it die. Are you going to let us die? Talking about the relationship, you need to think about that. Remember that? Yeah, I love it. It's so funny. So, yeah, so our relationships, they really are like the love fern, okay? Whether they're with a partner or with a friend or whatever, it's like the love fern because you have to nurture it. You have to give it some loving, okay? So I had to give that example because I love that movie. All right, so let me give you the three things. 3 things to help nurture relationships, okay? So, number 1, practice gratitude toward your partner, friends, whoever, okay? Practice gratitude. You need to let them know how much you care about them, how much you love them. Don't just assume. We all know what assuming means. Am I right? Yeah. Let's not assume that they think they know that we appreciate them, that we love them, that, we can't imagine being without them. Let's not assume that. Let's tell them, okay? You can tell them, you can show them through actions, but, I know words, if you're not true to your word, it cannot mean as much, but hopefully you are. But saying it still has some weight, especially when it's followed with that action, okay? Telling your friend, oh, appreciate so much you do for me, and then actually appreciating and reciprocating, like that's important. People need to hear it, okay? All right. Number 2, which is probably the hardest thing to do. Can anyone guess what it is? The hardest thing you can do in a relationship. I'll give you a moment. It is learn to forgive. Learn to forgive. It is tough. It is not. I'm not saying it's easy. Again, relationships are not easy. Marriage is not easy. It's not easy. But you got to learn to forgive. Now, I'm not talking about, okay, you forgive. And now, as most of y'all know, I am a Christian. And, Jesus calls us to forgive and forget, right? Just like he does. Once we've asked for forgiveness, he forgets it. It's like it never happened. Yeah, that's kind of hard for us, right? And the thing is, forgive, but don't let people run over you, right? Don't let it keep happening over and over and over. Now, that's not what I'm saying, but you do need to learn to forgive, okay? I need to be better at forgiving. It's tough. It's tough to do that, okay? But this is good for our mental health. I mean, it's good for that relationship, but it's also good for our mental health because how often are you thinking and stewing and having anxiety over what the person did? Like thinking about those feelings and how it made you feel. Sometimes not even necessarily about the act that made you mad. This is deep. I know. It's pretty deep. Sometimes we just continue to stew over how it made us feel. Oh, they just humiliated me. They humiliated me. But it's not even about the act, was how it made you feel. And continually hanging on to those angry feelings, it takes a toll on our mental health. It does. And of course, ruins the relationship. So don't have people run over you. I am not saying that. Do not keep doing, doing the same thing over and over again. That's insanity, right? Trusting someone and then you can't rely on them over and over and over again. I'm not saying that, but learning to forgive and letting go of those angry feelings is one of the toughest things to do, but it can save relationships. It can save your relationship, okay? All right. And then number 3, create rituals together. Create rituals together. How many of y'all, let's just say, like maybe a spouse, maybe a boyfriend, girlfriend, and you remember doing those fun things together that you used to do at the beginning of your relationship? Whether it was working out, rollerblading, whatever it is, okay? Making late night Target runs together. I don't know. Whatever it was. And it just kind of became a ritual, a fun thing. You did do something you did together, maybe gardening, maybe whatever it is, okay? And then life got busy, okay? And you stopped having those times together, those date nights, those, doing that hobby together that you used to do. Has anyone felt that way? Has that ever happened to any of y'all? Let me know. Say yes. We've gotten out of the rituals, okay? If you can get that back, if that is something that you can commit to, find something that you both enjoy doing, or maybe do something brand new that you've never done before, but that's something you can share together. Going on vacation together, doing date night, if it's friends, going and working out together. I mean, all these different things, going to the movies, whatever. Committing to doing that, doing something once a week, once a month, something, a ritual that you can look forward to, that is planned, that is on the books, that is, non-negotiable, if you will. Having those times together helps build that relationship, help you, if it's rekindling love, if it is just rekindling friendship, enjoying each other, trusting each other, loving each other. Having those rituals that are on a regular basis, that can help nurture your relationship. So I would love for you to tell me if that is something that you are doing or something you want to do. I would love to know the things. Again, you don't have to tell me the type of relationship, anything like that, but tell me some rituals that you like doing with the relationship that you had in mind coming into this live. Okay? Because remember, I said at the beginning, there's a relationship that that needs nourishment, if you will. Okay? Nourishment. It needs some sunlight. It needs some fertilizer. It needs some nutrition. Okay? Needs some energy, some time and energy, some love. That relationship that that I asked you to kind of keep in mind as we were going through this, what are some rituals that you would love to do with that person, with that relationship I'm talking about? Would love for you to throw those in the comments, okay? Love for you to share that. And then not only are you sharing it here, but then I want you, for your homework for after this live. I know this live is a little bit deeper, okay? So I would love for you, I would love for you to plan something with that person that you thought about in this live. Plan that ritual with the person. Okay. I'd love for you to come back to this video and share with us that you did that you planned that time, that ritual, you're getting that, that time, spending that time with that person, and then come back in here and tell us that what you did and that you did it, because that's how you're going to nurture those relationships. Absolutely. That's one of the biggest things, time and energy. That's what all of us need as humans, right? That's all we want. It's what we need. We need to know that someone cares about us, loves us, wants to spend time with us. That's what we need and want as humans. Even if we don't be like, I don't need that. You don't have to be strong here. We all need that. We're human. We are human and we want it. You can't say you don't need it. You do need it, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. You need it. Okay. So those are the 3 things that I challenge you to do to help nurture those relationships. I'll go over them one more time. Practice gratitude toward your partner, spouse, friends, family. Let them know you care. Okay. Number 2, learn to forgive. That's the hardest thing to do. Hardest thing to do. Go back and listen to what I said about that. And then number 3, create rituals together. Okay. Now, homework. Tell me what that ritual is. That you did it. Okay. That is what I am challenging you to do tonight during this June summer series of how to, sanity hacks for your summer. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Let me know if you got value, #value. And I'm excited to hear back from everybody, see what y'all did. Because like I said, having those good, healthy relationships, again, it's good to just have those relationships, right? We want to repair things, okay? Life is short. But it also helps with our mental health. When we have bad relationships, it really affects us mentally, which then again affects us physically, because mental and physical is connected. Okay. So let me know let me know your ritual. Let me know if you got value out of this. And next week we will be rounding out this series. What am I rounding it out with? Let me double check so I can remember. Sleep for sanity. Yeah, we need sleep, people. All right. So I'm rounding out this June series with the sleep for sanity. So looking forward to having you join me next week. And until next time, rise up, break free, and unlock your best life. See you soon.